Hi, and welcome to Creations by Tammy, where we learn all Cricut tips, tricks, designing hacks, DIYs, from beginners to more advanced. So today we're going to learn how to monogram an apple and a heart mom. So sit back, relax. I'll take you to the computer and show you how. Make sure you remember to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Hit like if you learn something new. And let's get to it.
Okay, so we're going to go to images, and we're going to search up apple. Now I'm going to pick a free apple. This way anybody without a subscription, there we go, we'll use this free apple, and now we'll click and we'll add to canvas. Now another good trick, just so you know, is let's say you saw this apple and you want to save it for a later project. If you hit this little button here, it will hit images saved. So now if you go into here to saved, at any time when you go back in there, your apple is now there. So we're going to add it to the canvas. And let me make it larger. And I'm going to duplicate it. So now you want to pick out your fonts. So now go to text. And let's type out B. So let's pick Keep on Trucking. All right. So B, G. All right. So I have my initials. So now what you're going to do is, let me change the color so you can see it better. So you're going to unlock. And now you're going to drag them in to fit. So now unlock everything. And you don't want to overlap, but you don't want spaces. So now just keep positioning them so that they're very close together. But like I said, you don't want to overlap anything. So we'll unlock this one. And we're going to place it. And that G looks a lot bigger than everything else. It might be closer. And position my S. All right, so once you decide how your letters, you want them placed, we're now going to remove the background. So now I'm going to remove my apple. I'm going to go around my words, my letters, and I'm going to weld them together. Now the reason I weld is we're going to slice. Now with slicing, you need two solid pieces. So before we had one solid apple and we had three separate letters. So now we have two separate pieces that are solid. So now reposition them how you want them. Now with slicing, you can do one of two things. You can click on your letters, hold the shift key down, and then click on the apple. And then you're going to see the slice key. The other option is you could go to the right, hold the shift key, click on the weld, click on the apple, and then the slice key also appears. So we're going to slice. Now we're going to remove. We don't need that anymore. So now you have now change this red. So now once we have that apple red, we can now position back on top of it. So now you have the letters inside. So now the other thing that you can do is, let's duplicate this. Put our apple back. All right, let me move this out of the way. Now we're going to take this apple and get rid of, I don't need two of these. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to shapes and I'm going to take a circle. Now what I'm going to do is I only want this part of the apple. I want the stem. So I'm going to take my circle and I'm going to unlock it. And I'm going to position so I get my stem as close as I can without getting anything else. So now I'm going to slice. Move that. So I'm clicking on the circle, holding the shift key, click on the apple, and now I'm going to hit slice. Now I don't need my cut apple, and I don't need my circle. And I can see that there's a little piece of the stem there, but so now I'm going to change my letters to red. I'm going to change my stem to green. So now the other thing that you can do is put your stem, and I'm going to go back to shapes, and I'm just going to get that little piece because it's going to drive me crazy there. So I'm going to unlock this, make it really tiny, and there was a little piece of the other apple there. And I'm going to slice out that little piece. I think I got it here. Let me see. I did. So now if you add your stem, now you can now take this and you could do two separate pieces, and you could do it with vinyl or you could do it with sublimation, but that's the two different ways that you can create a monogram for an apple. You can place the letter so it has this effect, or you can do it like this so it has just the monogram effect. Alright, so let me group these together, and now we'll show you one more. Let's do something. We'll take a heart, shapes, and take a heart. Now let's make our heart bigger, and change the color of my heart. Change the color of my heart, and change my letters. Alright, so now we're going to do, let's do best. And then mom. So now you want to position. So we're going to send to the front. Make them bigger. Now I'm just doing this so I can get an idea of how much space I have to work with. Alright, so now what you're going to do is, being that we typed this all together, we're going to ungroup it because we're going to position each of the letters separately. So let's start with our B. We're going to unlock it. And I'm going to kind of position it because we're going a little bit at a slant. Take our E, same thing, unlock, If it feels like working. Sorry. Now our S, same thing. Unlock. Way too big. Move that down. Now I'm going to have it so it's up a little bit so it gets the position somewhat of the heart when it cuts out. So now put this one in. And make our B a little smaller. Move it S. And overlapping there. I'm going to tilt that a little bit. All right, so now we have our mom. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to ungroup, move mom, tilt a little bit, unlock, unlock the O, and I'm trying to get it so when I cut, it will leave some of the outline of the heart. Now bring my S up, it's too big. And you kind of have to play with it until you find the best positioning. So regroup this, unlock, rotate, make our S a little more slanted. There's some more room there. Curve this a little bit. And I kind of have the letters like going a little bit of different sizing. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to group this and I'm going to duplicate it. Just in case I don't like how the design comes, I don't have to type out all my words again. And so now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to weld the letters. Now let me bring back in my heart. And let's see what it looks like. So we're going to hold the Shift key and click. Now we have the slice option. Remove the bits. X this out. X this out. So we have that. Now we can take another shape, grab a heart. Let's make it. So this is 5.761. So we're going to make this 5.761. All right, now I'm going to center back. And there you go. So hopefully these tips and tricks helped. But it just shows you the kind of the difference that you can do by slicing kind of things out and making your own designs.
So for now, happy crafting and see you in the next.